Hi, hello, hello, hi, and welcome to all our hearts and minds. Thank you again for tuning in. We're here to discuss all things that have been on our hearts and minds, the good and the bad, the concerning and uplifting, or just straight talk. We're your hosts, Kimmy, our passionate heart,
Yeah.
and me, Jeanette, our mind and chronic overthinker. Let's get into it.
Yes, please do.
So, let's check in with each other and do our little checkup. How are
Yes.
you?
I am awesome. I am blessed. I am highly favored. Thank you, Jesus. I had a
Amen.
beautiful bridal shower that my maid of honor, Jeanette, and my mom, they did the do. They did the damn thing. It was awesome. I'm still smiling.
That's great.
Actually, I picked up my dress and my daughter's dress today, and so yeah, I'm just like 2 weeks. We're 2 weeks out,
2 weeks,
right? And everybody's
two more
coming for their
weeks, and
money, so but lots of
the
shopping is
account is
going on,
getting
and that's a good thing,
massacred.
right? It's like everybody want them things. No, can't hear from them much, but yeah, no, but it's cool. I'm just glad to get it, to that point where the day is here.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm excited. I'm excited, and
Amazing.
work. However, it's been much. It's been much.
Mm.
Can't wait to take a little vacation for this honeymoon right here. Can't wait. Let me tell you. But other than that, you know what's popping with me.
That's
You know
good.
what's
Okay,
popping.
well,
How
I'm
are you
glad
doing?
that happy to hear that you love your bridal shower.
I did.
I'm glad. I'm glad, and
It was a
your mom and I,
smash in my books.
yeah.
It was a
And I
smash.
sent some pictures, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, it looks so pretty," and da 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 da. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I'm glad we were able. That was one thing off your list,
Yeah.
not necessarily your list, but a part of the process.
Right. Right.
Um, yeah, and your mom's so funny. She's so funny. Kim's mom thanked me, I think, over 100 times the night of and leading up to that.
Yeah,
If I
because
was on
she
the phone with
really
her,
is grateful. She's really grateful, and she's like that. And it's just because it was overwhelming at one point. You
yeah, I
came
get it.
in
I
and you
get it.
just
Yeah, I
like
think if you're not,
swooped in,
and
like,
it's fine, and it's and really it's not. It really shouldn't even be on. Like typically, you'd have like a big bright. Our bridal party is pretty small, so that's really why she's more
hmm
involved. Otherwise, she wouldn't even have to, or she'd not be so involved. Even if she was involved
right.
because she wants to be, she
Yeah,
wouldn't be
she
so
really
involved.
wanted
But
it.
anyway,
Yeah.
it was very beautiful. I'm happy that you liked all the little things, and that's great.
Yeah, it was every
Other
little
than
piece of
that,
it means a lot. Yeah. Mhm.
other than that, yeah, I've been pretty good. Summertime energy. It's
Mhm.
really hard to bring me down in the summertime, whether I'm doing something or not. The sunshine alone is enough to keep me in good spirits.
Right?
And yeah, outside of the shower and this week, I also had like a went out in the middle of the week for a work activity, and ooh, Jeanette can't hang with the big boys. Jeanette cannot hang with the big boys when it comes to drinking. Okay.
If you learn sometime,
Yeah.
right? Jesus, not
But
easy.
other than that, it's been a pretty good week. All right. So we're doing good. Our energy and our spirits are good, blessed and highly
Yes.
favored, as you so aptly put it, which
Yes.
was wonderful. Um, okay, I'm gonna just jump into headlines. We kept it light this week. Even though
Try your
there's
best.
always things going on, we wanna streamline and just keep things moving and talk about what the
Mhm.
world's talking about. So I'm gonna first start talking about the
The
monkeypox.
monkeypox. Why them have to call
And
monkey? How comes? I really don't think it's that word monkey be ever
it
said
is
on the video.
literally
It must
it
have been
is
something. I don't know.
literally related to I do think it's coming from primates, but why I decided to finally talk about it. I mean, we've been hearing about has been in international news for at least a couple months, if not more,
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
more, really realistically. But recently Canada's main health expert, uh, Dr. Teresa Tam, um, did a press conference regarding monkeypox.
Yeah.
And if we follow the patterns, which I'm not following the patterns of COVID, of our experience of COVID, once you have like federal public health officials doing
Mhm.
news conferences, it's getting serious.
Yeah, you gotta pay attention.
Got to
Mhm.
pay attention, right? And so recently, and I think she did that. She had that conference. I think it was July 27th. It was the actual official conference. I saw it. I guess the following day, but it was following the World Health Organization, or WHO, declaring the virus a public health emergency of international concern. And so, following that, when she did the press conference in Canada, covering all of Canada, there's 745 confirmed cases of monkeypox reported in Canada, and 99% of them are affected. Though of those who have reported cases of monkeypox, are men with the median age of 36, and something that she also said is that this population is mostly men who have sex with men, so gay or bisexual. And it was, I mean, she literally said that in the press conference, which I was surprised because prior to her saying anything, there was a New York article pretty much saying similar stats from New York.
Mhm.
And there was kind of a little bit of obviously backlash because it's kind of going back to that HIV thing back in the
Mhm.
early 90s, late 80s, where AIDS in particular was regarded as the gay disease, like literally, like that's just what it was known as, right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
later we saw the harm of it, and I do agree there is some harm because on one thing, yes, that's where it's concentrated right now, but that's not the only way to catch it. Is not just sexual contact is the way it has been spreading in that community.
Mhm.
But you can catch it by just coming in contact with somebody who has it by touching them or touching their clothes. So it's like it may start that way, but it can spread
Mhm.
very innocently as well.
Mhm.
So I guess
Yeah.
that's the danger I think with them releasing that news is that on one hand it's like, okay, it's contained, like if you're not a part of that, if you're a part of that community, then maybe you need to be extra careful, which they did say that people should be careful with their sexual partners. And but also, you don't want, if you're not a part of the community, don't assume just because you're not a gay man that you're not affected too. Like
Right.
that is dangerous.
Exactly. Yeah.
um
Well,
so
I'm just tired of them constantly having to label like a group of people with a disease that's prevalent. Now, I do understand that
yes.
it could be more prevalent in certain, sectors of our
Hmm.
population, and I get that. I'm willing to
Hmm.
appreciate it, but I don't think it's fair to attach a whole culture or race of people
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah, it's
one particular.
dangerous.
I just, I have a hard time with that. Now,
I
here's the
think
thing:
I
is
think what it is. Hmm.
no, go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, sorry for cutting you off. No, go ahead.
No, that's okay. No, that's okay. Well, what I have a hard time with is when there's a constant blame, right? Like there's a constant blame. The entire world is under this COVID-19 and surviving it, and I just don't think that it's always appropriate to just point a finger at a particular culture, lifestyle, race. I just I want to focus in on the actual disease and how do we conquer it versus pointing fingers, right? Now, yes, it is good to know, especially if you are in a particular, culture or race or lifestyle, that it is affecting you more so that you can be more aware. But I just feel like when it's it's almost spun in the media that this is bad, watch out for these people. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong way, to be quite honest. um
Yeah, I think it's more. I think it's like the media, like the side. Like there's like two different things here. So it's like um there's the actual facts of it. So there is a part of it, like you said. I feel like there's just that the media. I think the media will grab onto one headline because their headline
Exactly, and that's the part that kind of
clickbaity,
bothers me. Yeah,
and so on one hand, it's like just with COVID, it's like the disease started somewhere and everybody latched onto that, and now with monkeypox, we're seeing it's starting in one community and everybody's latching onto that, but it won't stay in that community. So it's like that's the danger. I think that's the danger, and what another thing is why it came into heavy it came into heavy focus in New York in particular because people were getting upset because they were focusing on giving the vaccine to people in that community, which makes sense. I mean, if that's where it's concentrated, I think they should start there before giving
of
it to somebody
course,
who doesn't really have much to talk. Unless you're in the health industry, like I do think that if that's the community that's suffering, like yeah, like that's what happens, right? But then the
right,
headline just kind of got twisted now, and now
very
everybody, and
much
I
so.
feel like the general consensus basis on social media is they're like, just like okay, just if you're a gay then you're gonna get it, which obviously that's not the only way to get it. So but anyway, why I brought it up is just that it's here, and start washing your hands, everybody. Start washing your hands. I'm gonna have to
Yeah, you
get
should
like
have
I've
never
already
stopped.
pretty good.
You
I
should have
already
never stopped.
been good with washing hands, but well, not yeah, never stop. But I mean, I think now it's like the hand sanitizer thing. I think I was like loosening up on the hand sanitizer, so I think that's where I'm gonna be a little bit more vigilant with the hand sanitizer again because
Definitely, yeah.
this thing looks dirty.
Right?
Monkeypox looks nasty as fuck.
Yep, and it
Like
lasts
COVID, you have
2 to 4
COVID, you can't
weeks.
really see it on
So
your skin, but it looks and it lasts for 4 weeks. Okay, the quarantine period is real for monkeypox.
yeah,
Okay, so
you
moving
have to
on.
harbor up for a
Everybody, stay
while.
safe out there. Stay safe. Watch what you're
Exactly.
doing. It ain't a game.
No, not in these streets. Hmm. Yes, but Jeanette,
um.
we have to move
Hmm?
on to something that really shook me to this week. It really shook me,
Yeah.
Go on with it. I want you to
So we're talking
introduce
about
this because me can't even
Brittany
say it
Griner.
again. Yes.
Brittany Griner. Okay, so we've been talking about like since the news really got international, we have been talking about the updates of Brittany Griner's case, and I think the last time we talked about it, I think there was rumblings of them taking action to the U.S. was seriously gonna do the swap of a Russian, the
Spy
Russian
slash murderer.
mob guy or whatever
Hmm.
spy. Yeah, they were going to do the swap, and so we were thinking things were looking up and up. And then yeah, I was kind of blown away. I think a couple days ago when I saw
Yep.
all over the headlines that Russia they sentenced her for possession of the little piece of marijuana cannabis oil she had in
It
her
was the
backpack
oil.
when she
It
got
wasn't even the
caught.
flour. You
Yeah,
understand?
the the oil, yeah, some oil, some cartridge thing, like right. And so yeah, they she got sentenced 9 years, and I think you were telling me that I think the maximum sentence is 10 years in Russia.
10
So she literally got the maximum sentence because she already served like six
since
months. Well, I
February.
think it's since February, so like 6 7 months. So they pretty much threw the book at her,
Pretty much.
and I am just I feel so like it was already a bad situation,
Hmm.
but like now like the US and Biden really like now this looks really bad on you that you've let things go so long. Now that she's been convicted 9 years, this needs to we need this Annie up right now. Like you're looking
Listen,
like a bunch of pum pums. Like
right,
this is serious.
exactly. And what blew me away was how, because I saw clips of what was her trial, and we just have to be so thankful that we're in a democracy over here,
Yes,
and
thank
that
God.
we can do and say as we please and move as we please as citizens, even if it's cussing out our
Mm-hmm.
premier or our president or whatever. We're not going to be, like you always say, captured in the middle of the night and thrown in jail, or beaten and thrown in jail. And in this case, it's so sad to see that this black woman is still in the Russia. She's still there. When we covered this in our episodes previously, we had mentioned that this is not a regular schmegular idea of jail, what
No,
we
yeah,
might have
yeah,
know or
yeah.
see. This is vastly different. And when I saw them and clips of the trial, she was sitting in her jail cell while they were conducting the trial. She spoke from the jail cell. Okay? So they're not even taking you out so you can speak your mind. They're letting you sit behind
Mm.
bars because you ain't coming out. That's how serious it was. And how their judicial system and their legal system is vastly different. It's an eye opener that when everybody's out and about in the summer and traveling all over the place, know where the hell it is you're going. Okay, because you might be sitting behind bars, literally having a trial for the next 9 years of your life for a cartridge of oil. Okay, so really, please, people, listen up, and this is a cautionary tale to everybody out there, so especially us black women,
I
because let
literally
me
just was
tell you,
watching it. I was literally just, yeah.
if it was anybody else, and I always bring up LeBron, sorry, LeBron, you know I love you. You know how to do the do in this game. But if it were LeBron, we would have World War VI go up in here. Okay, everybody and their mother would have been like, "No, gotta get on it. Let's get LeBron. Let's get on." They move so slow that the legal system in Russia got enough chance to catch up and out of no damn place have a full blown trial, okay, and sentence this woman pretty much the maximum, which is 10 years. She got
Mm.
9, but she's done almost 10. So I don't know what kind of bargaining tool they were trying to have in this equation, because we know that they wanted to trade these people, this guy for her. And so what happened to that? Why are we moving? Why are we dragging our
We
feet?
need to.
Like,
We're
I just
dragging our
don't
feet.
understand this, and it's really sad to see that she's in Russia. I looked deeper into the culture in Russia, and they're not
Mm.
down with the LGBTQA plus system here.
Oh no, yeah, no,
They're not.
no, no, no,
They're
no.
very traditional in their thinking, thanks to Putin over there. You understand? So, with all of that being said, she is a black woman. She's 6 something odd feet. Okay, she does, you know,
Mm-hmm.
favor more of her masculinity than her femininity.
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know
Mm-hmm.
she's an American, because sorry Americans, we love y'all now, we love you over here at the Hearts and Minds. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
around the
Yes, we
world,
do.
around the world, not so much. Not so much. So she's an American, she's black, she's a female, she's tall, they're automatically gonna feel threatened by her height. Okay, so with
Mm-hmm.
that being said, Brittany, I pray for you. I pray for you
Yeah,
that
because I was
Biden
while you were
not drag
talking,
his
I was
feet.
looking at the video. While the
Yeah,
Yeah, I
well,
was
I
looking at
know.
the video where they're talking to her, translating the thing, and the look on her face, like she's good because she didn't cry, but I could literally see her whole body sink. Like
Yeah,
I don't even know if she stayed standing because I know my ass would have dropped.
right,
Um,
right.
and but prayers up for Brittany Griner. Biden, like I saw this article says Biden slam. What? Don't slam Russia. Russia's doing what Russia was gonna do. Like we knew Russia's trying to pull all its cards. So like, unless you're gonna swap, let's do the swap. Like stop with the long talking. At this point, like
No,
this
what
girl,
Russia? This
like
is all political, Jeanette. Because what they really
yeah,
want
we know,
is they don't want them to get oil from Ukraine. That's what it
yeah,
is.
but
Russia doesn't
mm-hmm,
want America to behind their back, but yet in their face be their friend, get oil from the Ukraine, because now you're going to help to fund a war that they want to win.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
if I eliminate you getting, like, they want to push him to the point where he'll stop trading with Ukraine. That's what they're trying to do. But I just, let's move on because I just feel so bad for this woman. Like 9 years, bro. nine
Yeah,
years
it's
up in that.
terrible. It's
This
a
is
very
not a
feeling
regular
very
winter we're talking about
powerless.
here. This
Yeah.
is Russia. Okay? Right. I'm going to pray for
Mm,
her. Keep her name alive. Keep
okay.
her name alive. Let's not
Yeah.
forget about her.
Keep talking about Brittany Griner until we get her out of there. All right. So moving on. So Kim K and Pete Davidson have reportedly broken up. Their
What's
romance, their summer romance. What do you call that? Those quick romance
rebound? That's what it
relationship.
is.
Yeah. Well,
That
yeah.
was a rebound.
Okay. Rebound.
That was a
So they
total
have.
rebound.
There's reports that they have broken up from a source. Sources say, and that they've broken up due to distance and schedules. Asadam say, and yeah, and I just feel like, I mean, we knew this wasn't going to be a long term relationship, but
Well, it sounded like it was like marriage
it
and all this.
still ended. It still ended sooner than I thought. I was gonna give it a year, because I mean, I feel
I
like for them
think
to
I
go
think
public,
Kim Kardashian was trying to drive Kanye West mad. And
well,
then when it started to get
It kind of worked
stale,
there for a couple months until he
yeah,
got a
it did
girlfriend.
until Kanye caught himself.
Yeah.
He caught himself, and he's over in the side piece letting it stew away. We talked about this when Kanye dropped something like you gotta be prepared. You gotta be prepared for that guy. So, because he's gonna drop pure facts and he's gonna drop it hardcore. So you gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta try your best with that. But so he's sitting and stewing, but he stopped with the
Yeah.
nonsense and
He did. Yeah.
played with the games that Kim was going on with, and it got stale, and Pete got stale, and yeah, and Kim, she doesn't need them. She doesn't
No.
need them. And if they can't accept her for what she is, like Kanye did for many years, then it's eventually gonna just fizzle out and fizzle away. You know, it's like it seems like any man that's with Kim Kardashian has to understand 100% how she rolls and what she'll do and the attention she likes and you know uh if you can't roll with that, then you know I didn't think it was gonna last long, and I thought that was
Yeah.
very
No.
much
Yeah. I didn't
the
think it was gonna
rebound.
last long, but I was gonna give it a
That
year.
was
I
the
thought
rebound
that
week.
the way they were so public that I was like, oh, maybe there's something here because they're like just so public with it, right?
Yeah,
But I
she wanted
mean,
to drive
she
Kanye
is
West
Kim
crazy.
Kardashian, so everything's gonna be public. Yeah,
She
but whatever.
wanted to
They
drive
broke
him
up,
mad.
so hopefully the circus is over.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned.
Stay tuned for more. All right,
Yes.
so are gonna move into our first segment for this week. And before I get into our segment, I needed to say something. Last episode, we talked about Beyonce's album Renaissance, and that was just with one day and maybe a couple of listens. I have now stewed with this album for a whole week, and Lord me God, Beyonce, Beyonce came for our edges. Beyonce
Every part of it.
came for our scalp.
Yep.
Beyonce has ripped my head bald. I am in a chokehold. The fucking like okay. One thing I could give her, I have to give her something. First of all,
Mhm.
she's sick. She is a sick woman, bitch. Like, why would you do all of this on one album? Like the whole
But here's
album.
the joke: is this is one of three. So
I don't know
buckle
if I'm
up.
ready. She needs to wait till next year. She needs to
We're
wait till
going
next year.
on a
I
roller
cannot
coaster with
handle
Beyonce.
anymore. I
We
literally
are
can't
going
handle
on the roller
anymore. Like,
coaster with her. You need to jump on the roller coaster with her because that's where we going.
girl, I cannot. Okay, so okay, and essentially, like, what I can give her is she definitely eased us into it with the
Yes.
first three tracks. We talked about this already, but again, this was with one listen. I didn't have any coherent thoughts at the time. I was doing my best to say that I liked the album very, 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 very much. Now that I've sat with it and I've stewed with it, the first three albums she eased us in. Those
Yeah.
first three songs.
Yeah.
I'm That Girl.
That.
I think Cozy is the second one. I'm That
Yes,
Girl.
but
Yeah, yeah.
that I'm That
Cozy.
Girl was like, if you really think about it, it showed you what you're about to go on. You know
That's
what I
true.
mean?
You're
Like,
right. You know what?
you,
It is a
if
perfect
you
intro. You
listen
are
to it,
right, but
because
I wasn't
I've been
ready.
listening to her music since. Okay, I've been bumping that all the time, and that I'm That Girl. Okay, she showed you. Buckle
She
up.
did, but she did tell it was there was a
Okay.
warning. So that's why I'm saying, okay, this is the reason why I'm giving her a blind, because I was like,
Mhm.
girl, have some mercy. Okay, so
Right?
I'm That Girl, Cozy, another, and then Alien Superstar, all very impactful and crazy
Mm-hmm.
and amazing. So she eases us into it. Then she gets
Yep.
into Cuff It.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then Energy, Energy.
And, and,
Let me tell you,
and as you
everything
and
after,
as you're on the roller coaster and you're going down, your energy is about to go up because you're going on the big hill. Hold on, wait, gonna climax just now. Go on, now. Go on. Yes.
Break My Soul. Break
Thank
My Soul
you.
comes in and it makes so much sense now. Okay, so again, I didn't want to, this is all off the cuff, people. I wasn't going to talk about this, but this album has me in a chokehold. I'm not even
Yeah.
exaggerating. It's like crazy. So it's like not like like this is not singles. This is something I'm listening to the album on repeat. And even though I didn't want to give it classic status, and I'm still not going to go there yet because maybe it's just excitement because I haven't heard Beyonce in a long time, but I'm lower. I'm like more and more. I'm like, oh my god, I might like Beyonce never misses, but Lord
Like,
me
she
God, like she
showed
went in.
us why she's called the queen of this. Okay, like
She's
this
only
is
competing with herself.
uh,
She's
but
only competing with
but
herself.
she is topping herself and excelling and exceeding her own damn self. Okay, like I just can't with you, Beyonce.
I was
Listen,
just like,
I love
honestly, okay,
Beyonce's
so
music, but
mm-hmm,
this
mm,
album right here, yeah, it showed us why you're the queen. It showed us why you are
yeah,
that girl. You should,
everything after
yes,
ev-
yes,
everything after Break My Soul, you don't get a breath after Break My
no,
energy.
no,
First, actually, every energy onwards, I literally can't catch a breath.
no.
Maybe Virgo's Groove, maybe Plastic Off the Sofa, she slows it down a little bit. But it's still, if you listen to the lyrics of that song, it's still gripping you. Then oh, okay. Anyway, I gotta move on. I
And
gotta
then
move
you're
on.
at
All
the
I'm
end
saying,
of
the
the
second
roller
half of this
coaster.
album,
Right round those songs right
and
there, you're at the end of the roller
yeah,
coaster about to
she
cruise
gives you a
right
little,
in.
and then she comes back and snatches your ass back
This is what I'm saying.
up.
And it all makes logical sense as to the arrangement of the songs.
Yeah, the arrangement of this album, the track
It
listing,
just it
genius,
just it's
genius.
like, if you really think about the arrangement, she probably thought about that for a while. Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah,
That's just my opinion. I thought I've been
there's an
listening
art
to
to
all
that.
them
Like that's
songs right there.
mhm.
Like, I've been listening to the whole album. There's certain songs that I'm playing like on repeat. But she is a talent that makes music that will last a long time. You know, you could hear this
Yeah, that's
music
yeah,
10 years from now and still vibe to it. You understand? It's that
yeah, and she's
happy
been
music.
consistently doing that.
You know, it's that
Yeah,
happy
it
music.
makes you
It's that
move. You
music
can't sit
like,
down.
I'm blessed. Like, yeah, let me show you, say, yeah,
Hmm.
you can't break my
Hmm.
soul. Okay?
Yeah, it's very empowering, and like like you can. It's very empowering. I don't know what it is, but it's positive, empowering. A lot of
It's
things like
happy
it brings
music.
joy. Yeah,
It's
you
the
said it.
right
It
time
brings
to make
joy
this.
to me.
This first album of Renaissance was the right time to make this music. It was a perfect time to make this music.
I meant to come back after because we talked about it last week, and I was like, no, 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 no. I that didn't whatever I said last week didn't cap like that was after two listens in, and it has like stewed with me, and it's like
Yep.
I can't even, it's crazy. But anyway, so now let's go into our first segment. This week we're doing a lot of mercy.
Lord have mercy.
And with a lot of mercy, the Lot of Mercy segment is there's stories that you read and it's just completely unbelievable, completely out of this
Yeah.
world. And you just have to say, Lot of mercy. Lord Jesus, take the wheel.
Crack the wheel,
And
God, God.
this week, we're talking about the Brooklyn pastor who's all over the social medias talking about getting robbed for about $90,000 of jewelry. Or no, I've seen it range from 90 to 400,000. That's what he's saying, but that's either way
I
some
heard it was
very valuable.
900,000. That's what I thought. I heard it was
Okay,
900,000.
maybe it was 900. So now I'm seeing 400, but so let's say in and around half a million worth of jewelry. And this is Bishop Lamar Whitehead. He said he was robbed at gunpoint while live streaming his Sunday sermon.
Mm.
And there's a viral clip of
Yep.
robbers bombarding the Brooklyn Minister's service circulated on social media, leaving fellow users in total disbelief of the events. Wow. I did not know this happened live. I just been reading the headlines. I did not know this happened live. So people saw
Sure did.
this. Wow. Did you see the video?
I did, and I thought it was the
Whoa.
biggest farce I've ever seen in my life. But whatever.
Do you
You
think
know.
it was like staged?
Yep.
Do you think it was
Time.
staged?
Yeah, that was an insurance hit right here. That's an insurance hit.
But he
of
said,
some kind.
I thought I saw something where, like, that's
It
unbelievable.
was
Like,
just
why would
how
anybody
the
do that?
camera was positioned and how the people who supposedly robbed him, they never ever came on camera. Like, never ever. Like, not the back of them,
See?
not nothing. Which I found strange. And there was another part where, like, so he walked outside with them and then came back in. And I was like, huh? That's You have to see the video. When I saw it, I actually didn't watch the whole thing because I was like, "You're insulting my intelligence at this point." So I need to. It's definitely some sort of an insurance hit. This pastor, I'm sorry, I don't even want to call him a pastor because I think this is a real, it's a touchy situation for me because as a Christian, like he's not representing, what God would
Yeah, even
want
the
at
fact that
all.
he's wearing that much. Mm-hmm.
Jewelry, right? For you to get
Mm-hmm.
robbed. And but he's a very flashy person. I'm not gonna sit here and judge him. I just don't like what I'm seeing of him because I just don't think that represents God or Jesus or anything having to do with Christianity. You can talk Bible verses, but when you're doing the dirt in the back in the dark, uh, God's still watching you. And the representation that you're putting out to the world is that having on Gucci in the pulpit, what? What are we doing here? You know what I mean? Having that much money on you. Anyways, Jeanette, like honestly, it's a bunch of bullshit. You need to watch the clip. You need to watch it because you'll see. Kind of like, are you for real,
No,
bro?
yeah, I need to watch it because I'm just looking at some comments and they're like, everybody seems to be agreeing with you that it looks like it
It just didn't
was
look right. If you were really getting
a
robbed,
hoax to
it
get
wouldn't look
insurance.
like that. It just wouldn't look like
But
that.
even in theory, even if there wasn't a video, I think in theory, who would do that? Who would go? And not because of the pastor, but just if somebody's recording something live, wouldn't you wait till he's done coming out and then you jump him? Like, why would you go in and get him while he's recording? Like, that doesn't even make sense.
It
So
doesn't make any
that in
sense.
theory
And then
alone,
how is it that you're never
yeah,
seen on camera?
all of that.
You're supposed to be taping, right? So that's how there's a video. Is your taping. So how does it that the robbers know that they're being taped enough to stay behind the camera? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like it just seems kind of
Mm-hmm.
strange. But you know what? There's been a lot of I've started to get to know more about this so-called pastor, and
Yeah.
he does a lot of shady stuff. Like he's connected to
Mm-hmm.
6ix9ine, Takashi 6ix9ine. He's like the hip
Oh
hop
yeah.
pastor. So for me, when I saw different pictures of him, now don't get it twisted. I believe that you should definitely come in your Sunday best and you should represent what God has blessed you with and let him see how you're caring for yourself. However, there's a limit to that for me. This flashiness in the pulpit for me, while people who are really struggling are still handing over money to the church and you're in Gucci. Like, the concept of it all. Most pastors that are really trying to have a congregation are going to want to see the well being of the church first before themselves. So he's kind of shifty to me. And that video right there, yeah, that was an insurance situation right there. 100%. Um, it was his reaction thereafter that really convinced me. I don't know if you saw, there was different interviews that he had given, where he was very insultive of the commentator that had him on his show. I guess his podcast. I don't know the name of it. I didn't write it down.
Mm-hmm.
My bad, people. But he was very insulting to the commentator as well as a guest that the commentator had that was a female that was a little thicker. And, his reaction was very telling. He was, carrying on. It was really disgusting to see, to be quite honest. And you could tell that he was defending his nonsense and that it's exactly that. This is not someone who is so. Yeah, but anyway, go on. Something you were going to. What were
Well,
you going to say?
the thing is, yeah, I think to your point, I think that I agree. Like there are a lot of signs showing that this person is most likely not a genuine man of God. Because not to say, fine, if you wear a little watchy watch, a little ringy ring, even if you have one necklace, the necklace is what's throwing me off. But fine, if even if you have a necklace, it's a basic necklace. If you're in, if you're who likes to wear little jewelry, it's all sus to me. But still, I can give you one of each. But if you're wearing half a million worth of jewelry, you're something in the milk ain't clean.
Definitely. It ain't clean at all, at all, at all. And it's sad that now you're trying to represent yourself as a man of a man of God, and you're not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This behavior is not a man of God. Why are you mixed up and blend with people who are going to rob you like that? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you should be setting a precedent in your community where people wouldn't dare. They wouldn't dare think to rob you. You know, but anyway, hey, teach their own. But why I say lot of mercy, because are you for real? In at this time, people need God, and you just made a mockery of of Christianity. Really? You understand? Like,
Mm-hmm.
come on. But Lord Jesus going to take the case with him. You see, as he give you, let
Yeah,
me
exactly.
so as him give you, he'll take away. Okay, so don't this pastor is a joke to me. I don't know about you, but he's a joke. We can wrap that up.
Oh yeah, he's a clown.
Yes, and so I guess we're gonna move on. Okay, so we're gonna move on into the workout. This is where we work out our hearts and exercise our mental fitness and do a deep dive discussion on issues that are impacting our culture. And this week, we need to talk about this because this is like running rampant in terms of news and social media. Um,
Mm.
so this week, was it this week? That just no, it was last week. Um, we found out that
Yeah,
Gina Tweed or Tweed, is it Tweed or Tweed?
two.
How do you,
I'm saying two. I don't know why. TEW two.
Gina Two reported that she nearly died, and she found out why, and it's because she has been diagnosed with HIV. And in telling the world this, which I wanted to say right off the rip is very brave, especially in this
Mhm.
form, she wanted to let everybody know and all of her sexual partners that, yeah, she is HIV positive and nearly died. So you might want to get tested. And of some of the people that she came in contact with, were the likes of what, Trey Songs and Chris Brown and some
Nick
other famous
Cannon.
people. Nick Cannon, yeah, and
Hmm.
he already has lupus, and we know he likes to go raw. So yeah, I want to talk about this video. I want to talk about her video specifically where she's letting the world
Mhm.
know. Um, Now, would you say that this is something that needed to be done this way? Do you think she's being brave? Do you think it's almost, I don't know, I don't want to say attention seeking. 'Cause, like, why would you go to such grandeur?
It's like, yeah, I think the video thing is crazy, but if I think about the nature of her work, if she, social media is how she kind of pretty much makes money. So I'm like, she's continuing that. She has the content. Her life is her content. And so, yeah, for a normal person, no, absolutely not. That's like insane. That's
Mhm.
insanity. But for her, she's gonna make it seem like, oh, it's because I'm telling people, I'm letting people go through their journey. But really, it's like, she's content. She makes money off her Instagram. It's a bit much, but in the same breath, it's
Instagram model,
literally her
by the
job.
way,
Her,
y'all. She's a pretty
yeah.
girl. She's a very pretty girl. I saw one picture of her before she lost a ton of weight, and she was still very,
Hmm.
very beautiful woman, and she still is.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know the grandeur of it all. Like, I understand. Is there no? So, is there nothing that is left to the imagination? Like, is there nothing that people won't go on social media and say? Like, I feel like this is taking it to a
Hmm.
whole new level, you know? But in the same breath, I have to say she's very brave. She's very brave to do it,
Yeah.
nonetheless,
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know how I can feel about that. But I mean, how else is she gonna get and let everybody know who she's had, you know, sexual partners, that this is what's been happening? And I can only imagine how many people she's.
Can you imagine that? Because that's like literally again, like, yeah, social media is how she makes her money, but she's also making money by sleeping with like
Mm-hmm.
celebrities. Like, no secret there. Or okay, let's not okay, let me not say she's a prostitute per se, but she hooks up with a lot of celebrities because she is like, we don't have video vixens anymore. We have Instagram models, in air quotes. And a lot of these Instagram models get DM'd by rich and famous men to go on dates, go on trips, and obviously, most likely, more likely than not, have some type of sexual relations.
Right?
And so, can you imagine if you're, regardless if you're famous or not, all these men who have been involved in her with her in the past 10 years? Because the thing is, 2 points that we need to bring up. She actually has full blown AIDS.
Yeah.
One.
Oh, my bad.
And,
My bad.
yeah, it's full blown AIDS. And then two, she the reason why she was so sick, like, she just obviously found out this year that she has AIDS. But the reason why she was so sick, they're saying, is that for her to be as sick as she is and have the disease, she must have had it in her system from 8 to 10 years. That's what they said, 8 to 10 years. So
Wow.
that means everybody you have slept with in the
Everybody.
past 10 years got exposed. And Nick Cannon, Chris Brown, if or any of those men, forget the
Mm-hmm.
famous ones that we know, any of those men, they must be shaking in their boots, because I know I would.
Right? Yes, I'm a
Although
bad
I would
sense
assume that
too.
someone like Nick Cannon Yeah, I would assume though that these are men who get around, and that I would assume if they're really healthy and they care about their bodies that they do regular STI and STD tests. So I would assume that. I'm hoping for their benefit that that is a part of their annual physical, considering that they are very promiscuous people.
Right? Right? I just, I just think about how many people those three men have slept with. And we know that Nick Cannon, he likes a raw dog. He likes to breed up all over the
Mm.
damn place. So, you know, is there a chance he could have given it to one of those women that he's had children with? You know what I mean? Like them way there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You have to wonder. You have
But
to wonder.
yeah, but to your point, no, I get what you're saying, but I also feel like somebody with his health condition and his lifestyle, I can't imagine that he doesn't regularly check himself.
Yeah, but
I'm giving him the
he
benefit of the
also
doubt,
doesn't
considering.
care. Like, because a long time ago I realized that he's doing all of this because all of this baby making is because he has this complex with death and life. You know what I mean? And so he's not afraid to die, but he also wants to have a legacy before he leaves. So it's like this constant baby making thing. And
Mhm.
I don't know. I just, I hope that they are. I hope that they are, and I hope it didn't go that deep. But I could just imagine those three men, and just, I'm going to talk about them specifically because they are superstars. Why would you even
Mhm.
talk to her? Why would you, like, I could never understand it. Do you, like, you're at a different level in life, a different level in life. You should want to protect the legacy that you've built. And you're so careless. Like, you don't know this girl for, look, that just shows. You don't know this girl from a hole in the wall. Yet look now. Look. Look at now. Look at now. Well, again, with her occupation, I get that, but like, is there not anything that you can keep to yourself? Like, it just feels like there's a race to the bottom sometimes. Like, there's. I'm glad that she said something, but it's in the same breath. It's like, have some tact. Keep that to you and your sexual partners. Who told you that Chris Brown, Trey Songz, and Nick Cannon want the whole world to know that they banged you, who now is not HIV, and I'll correct myself. Thank you so much, Jeanette. Full blown AIDS. Okay, that these are very successful, and you know they have a lot of fame and money. Why would you need to sleep with
Mhm.
her? Like, it just poor reflection on them. So who's to say that they wanted you to go and put this on blast and them on
Yeah, it's
blast?
almost. I'm actually almost scared for her because it's a similar to like, when we hear what happens with like trans people, like if like a straight guy
Mhm.
dabbles with a trans person and then they find out, or so they say, but they don't know, and then they find out, and then it's similar to this case, like they didn't know that she didn't declare, or she says she literally didn't know, but she didn't declare, and now they slept with her, and now they're like, what the fuck, do I have AIDS? And that's dangerous, like that's like people's lives, like, so that's also pretty scary, I think, in terms of like her safety.
Mhm. Well, I mean, I guess I just come from a different generation, and my generation is, you don't need to put all your damn business in the street.
Mm.
You still have to live a life, and as much as there might not be a stigma that is attached to people who have AIDS or HIV, there is. So yeah, you're Instagram famous and you might get sponsors and stuff, but what if they stop wanting to fuck with you because of this? Excuse my language, but there just needs to be some things that nobody needs to know other than the people involved.
Hmm.
The first thing you should be doing is sitting down and making a list of all the mans them that you had sex with over the last 10 years, okay? And getting in touch with them and letting them know this is something that this should be a personal exchange. You know what I'm saying? Between you and the people that you slept with. Just like the sex that you had. It was a personal exchange between you and that person. So I don't understand why it has to be publicized. And of all places, like Instagram, like really? This is what we're doing now? Wow. Like I feel it's a lot, but like I had to really try to give this girl grace. And I said, you know, well, she's not proud of it, but eventually people will know. And if she's almost died from it, maybe she doesn't care who knows, you know, and being brave enough to go and say something, you know, I guess I can give her that too. But you know, I want to take this down a different lane, and that is what glitters is not always gold. Okay, what glitters is not always gold. Why is there a need for you to go and find an Instagram model, you know, who you know, whether she's tricking herself or not, I don't care at this point. Why do you need to do that? I understand the fame, I get it, and the money, but just find a woman and relax with her. You know, why is there a need to have, like, I don't get it. Like, I really don't understand what the need is, especially when there's the risk. There's so much to risk. You know what I mean? Like there's so much to risk. So, and even if we're not talking about famous people like them, Chris Brown and Nick Cannon and all them, and it's just a regular schmegular person, you know, who's in a relationship with someone or having sex with people, like, can you please just protect yourself? Protect yourself, you know, and you know, maybe scale back on how much bodies you have per year. Like, I don't know. Maybe
We have
scale back a bit.
monkeypox. We have all these things. Yeah, it's time to scale back.
Like scale back, bro. Like you know, and what I want to know in this that I find I'm very curious to know is what if it laid dormant, what caused it to flare? Like what caused it to react if it was dormant in her body for so long? I guess maybe that's my ignorance towards the disease. But I really have to
Yeah, I'm not
wonder,
sure. Yeah.
you know, like what if it wasn't if she got so sick like that and they're saying that she had to have had it in her for that duration of time. What made it flare up? Was it more and more sex, more and more bodies, more and more like, you know?
No, we can't say. Yeah, 'cause I don't know. I don't know enough to. Yeah, I have no idea.
You know, I just wonder to myself, but
But it looks like she was battling. Like it's like she's been kind of going through illnesses, but she never knew it was
related to this.
AIDS.
Well, that's why
They
because
never
what's
died, or they
happening
never caught it or
in
tested her for it. Yeah, I don't
hmm
know.
Well, you know what? Prayers up for you, you know, and cautionary tale number two, people. Okay, cautionary
Mm.
tale number two. Just because you see this Instagram model on the thing doesn't mean there's a whole nother stuff I want to talk to you about that I saw actually last night. And you know, and their Instagram models and whatever, whatever. And so, you know, we're finding out later on that what glitters is not gold. And these men are expecting having their own expectations that the women are not fulfilling, and they're being left at the side of the road, being, you know, brought back to the the same airport where they came from. And so I'm mentioning it because just because you go on Instagram
Mm.
or whatever other Facebook or whatever platform and you meet somebody, take the time to get to know them. You're creating soul ties every time you have sex with someone. Whether you believe it or not, look into it,
Yep.
okay? Because
Soul ties
there's
are
some
real.
people out here who have really messed up souls because they're sleeping with too many damn people. And each person you sleep with has their own baggage they're carrying behind them. So you need to be careful out in these streets. And again, like I said, it's a cautionary tale. This is not okay type of behavior and lifestyle. And it has consequences. So if you want to live this lifestyle, kudos to you. I'm not here to judge you at all, even right down to the pastor with the Gucci in the pulpit. I'm not judging people. However, be prepared for the consequences that come your way. Be prepared because there are some, whether they're good or whether they're bad, there are consequences. And, I hope the very best for that young lady. I hope that she figures out what she's going to do about herself. But in the meantime, in between time, listeners, I will say that we're so happy that you tuned in. We're so happy that this show was a good show. We had, able to talk about a lot of stuff, and we do hope that your hearts and your minds were activated on this week's show. So whether you lead with your heart or your mind, please stay passionate and thoughtful, y'all. We will talk to y'all soon. Bye.
See ya.